Goodbye YouTube and happy Friday to everybody. Now, for those of you who did not get to see the tournament video that I posted up yesterday, a link to that will be in the top left hand corner of the video, so please make sure to go check out that video if you are interested to join my tournament, and then come back to this video. Now also, on October 5th is going to be the official release date for mine and Sour Boss's Pokemon Cypher. Mark that on the calendar. I promise you it will be up on October 5th this year. And anyways, as you saw from the team preview, yeah, this is an Aryu battle. Holy crap, I have not done one of these in a good month or three, maybe, like since I uploaded the battle against Kashif. But yeah, anyways, potential threats on my opponent's team are going to be the Drapion, just because Toxic Spikes, and if he brings in Dusknoir correctly on my Sandslash, I will not be able to spin those away. Rotom Cut, I have one on my team, so I know just how good it would be. Also, if I lose my Lantern, then Magmortar is definitely going to be hitting my team hard as hell. But he does have one major flaw on his team. He has 4 Pokemon weak to ground, and I so happen to have my Sandslash. So I'm definitely going to have to keep my Sandslash around for this battle if I want to be able to pull out a victory. Also, I do carry Earthquake on my Bouffalon, so I can have Bouffalon as a later resort, as a late game sweeper, sorry, for later on in the battle. But yeah, with that, guys, let's get into the battle and let's see how it turned out. And he had Electivire. Why do people use Electivire? Anyways, I'm going to be leading off with my Sandslash, seeing as he doesn't have a Rapid Spinner. I can get up my rocks as soon as possible. Plus, I will be able to get the extra residual damage on the rest of the team, especially that Magmortar, because Magmortar right now is the biggest threat on his team. As he leads off with Steelix, he's going to get up his own rocks. In the following turn, I'm going to go for an Earthquake. Now, I am adamant, max attack, and that Earthquake doesn't even do half to the Steelix, and Sandslash, why you fail me? As this turn, what I'm going to do is actually Rapid Spin, hoping he will go for another Gyro Ball. That way the following turn, when he set up the rocks again, I could get a free switch out into my Jinx. Substitute as he possibly switched out or stayed in, breaking my sub, then Lovely Kissed and stubbed and Nasty Plot and done all that. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, and he does go straight for the Dragon Tail. Dragon Tails me out to my Lantern, and I'm thinking, hey, I have about 160 special attack EVs. I can easily take out the Steelix at that amount of HP. Nope. He lives with literally like 2%, and he's going to be able to get the rocks back up, which is just a bit frustrating. So he's going to bring in the Rotom. Now, obviously, because the Leaf Storm is so obvious, I'm actually going to stay in, hoping that he will predict my Bouffalon switching and go for the Volt Switch, but instead he makes a double switch out to Dusknoir, predicting me to actually bring in Bouffalon, which obviously, because I am a sub Swords Dance set, I would be able to sub, but then again, even at +2 Earthquake really wouldn't be doing much to this Dusknoir. So what I'm going to do is just Volt Switch, seeing as Skull did practically nothing, and I know I do not want to get burnt because I need to keep my Lantern at as much HP as possible to take hits from that Magmortar. I'm actually going to bring in my Cofagrigus, seeing as he's more than likely is just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, and I do carry the Rest Sleep Talk combination on this Cofagrigus, so the burn really doesn't bother me whatsoever. And it turns out that he actually carries Shadow Punch, which really isn't that weird or that uncommon to have on Dusknoir, seeing as Slowking has become a bit more common in the RU tier, so that's perfectly understandable if you ask me. Anyways, I'm going to be able to go for the Will-O-Wisp, which means I completely crippled this Dusknoir, and thinking that he more than likely is going to go for another Shadow Punch, and still thinking that he might carry Seismic Toss, I'm actually going to bring in my Sandslash. Now, yes, I did say that Sandslash was going to be a key member in this battle, seeing as more than half of his team is weak to ground, but what I really want to do is just Rapid Spin those damn rocks away because I hate hazards. So what I'm going to do is actually just stay in, go straight for the Earthquake, and then it turns out that he goes for Seismic Toss and not Will-O-Wisp. I don't really know why. If I was him, I would have gone for Will-O-Wisp, but hey, to each their own plays. I don't know what was going through his head. Don't judge him on that, guys. So I'm going to be able to easily 2-kill the Dusknoir, which means later on in the battle, if I get an opportunity, I will be able to Rapid Spin the rocks away, which means my team will no longer have to take that extra annoying damage. But he brings in Magmortar, and here, the Hidden Power Grass was so obvious, and the switch into Lantern was so obvious as well. But once you really think about it, Lantern was really the only thing I could have brought in on this Magmortar, because even if I brought in my Bouffalon, I don't run max speed on it, and even if I did, Magmortar still outspeeds me, so either way my Lantern is the bulkiest and best thing I have to switch into this Magmortar. Now, I just left in my Lantern basically as Death Fodder, but it turns out that he actually switches out, I guess maybe fearing the fact that he wouldn't be able to Oko me as he brings in the Rotom. I stay in again thinking he would over-predict and predict me to bring in Bouffalon, but as you're about to see, he actually turns out to be a bulky set, so even if I did bring in Bouffalon, he would have been able to outspeed me and burnt me. So yeah, I lose my Lantern, which really does suck because now Magmortar has become become a fucking threat. So I'm gonna bring in Jinx, and I'm not gonna play around. I'm not gonna go for Lovely Kiss. I'm not gonna go for sub. I'm gonna go straight for the Ice Beam and just utterly annihilate that Rotom. Now guys, Nasty Plot, Lovely Kiss, Ice Beam, substitute Jinx is a threat. This woman, or this female Pokemon, can literally sweep through a team by herself. And she is a monster, just let me tell you. So he brings in Electivire and ends up going for the Protect, which once you really think about Protect on Electivire or on any Pokemon for that matter is really not that bad of an option. I mean, obviously it's used for scouting. So I bring in my Cofagrigus just basically as Death Fodder, and hey, Electivire actually did something which is pretty amazing. So what I'm gonna do here is bring in my Bouffalon, hoping and praying that I would be able to take a Cross Chop. Luckily, because I do carry a heavy amount of HP and EVs on my Bouffalon, I am going to be able to live that Cross Chop and just finish him off with the Earthquake, which is just great because at this point his last is the Magmortar and the Drapion. So he brings in Magmortar, and looking at the amount of HP that he's at, after this turn of Life Orb Recoil, he should be down to a point where I can bring in my Rotom, and because I am Scarfed, I will be able to outspeed him. And even if he had lived this Volt Switch, I would have just brought in my Jinx as Death Fodder, seeing as at this point, the only thing I really need is my Sandslash to deal with the Drapion. But luckily for me, the Volt Switch does finish him off. As I do switch into my Sandslash, he's going to bring in the Drapion, which should easily be 2-hit KO'd by the Earthquake. But it turns out that he's actually an offensive one with Ice Fang, and I'm not gonna lie, I did get a bit scared because I have no idea how much damage Ice Fang does to a Rotom. But as you're about to see, I actually end up living this second Ice Fang, and I went for the Rapid Spin, so I managed to end the battle with the Rapid Spin kill, which is just amazing. So very good game, Teekachu. I actually think he does have a YouTube, so I'll leave a link to that down in the description if I do find it. Also guys, make sure to go check out the previous battle I uploaded, which will be in the annotation on the video on your top of the screen. Sorry. Anyways guys, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to see more content. With that, I do believe I am out of here guys. I'm sleepy. I'm gonna go to bed. Later.